Hello everyone, welcome to the Azure DevDay Bhubaneswar at Siksha Anusandhan University. This is Lakshat Pant from Azure Developer Community. Our community is in 114 plus cities. We do multiple offline events, online events, and we help college student industry professionals to build and upskill themselves with Azure. Today, with this Azure Dev Day, we have our expert speaker Saurav Kumar Sharma sir. He's Microsoft certified, he's multi-cloud certified, and he has been really doing some great, amazing work in the cloud industry and especially with Azure. Today, he'll be guiding you all around Microsoft Azure and he'll be guiding you around Microsoft Azure and he'll be sharing you his insights around Microsoft Azure and hands-on session. So over to you, sir.
Hello, everyone. Uh, so basically, let me share my screen and we will discuss everything one by one. So, can it's one to one? Like, can I talk with them or not?
Sir, there is a comment section if in your right hand side section, if you could see there, comments, private chat and comments.
Private chat comment. I'm not able to see.
Like there will be option of
Okay,
comments. If
okay,
you,
got it. Got it. Okay. So let us start session. Okay. Let me share my screen and
hello everyone, and I'm the if you will see there is a link tickering on your screen that will be bit.ly is at Discord. So please do join our Discord channel. We have Yasser, your screen is visible. Perfect.
so everyone, are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir,
Please
it's
say
visible.
yes.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay. So let me close my teams first, otherwise they are continuously. Okay. So yeah. Are you guys able to see my screen?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Hello?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Yeah. Okay, so let me introduce myself first. So my name is Saurabh Kumar Sharma, and I am a senior software scientist and Microsoft certified Azure data engineer as well as data analytics. And I have experience in Power Platform development, Azure Data Factory, solution architecture, Power BI, and corporate tenor and mentor as well. I have done some certification like AZ305, DP203, AI 900, AZ 900, PL 400, DA 100, DP 500. And once you want to like if you want to be a good data engineer, or you want to be connect with Microsoft, or you want to be a Microsoft data engineer, then you need to start with this one, which is certified Microsoft Azure fundamental, means AZ900, the fourth one from the top. So it should be the basic one. Once you will get the certified from this, like Microsoft Azure fundamental, then you can be moved to the next one, which is Microsoft data engineer, like DP203. So for this, you need to be make sure that if you want to be a good data engineer or some sort of IT engineer with Microsoft or Azure, then you should be know about these kind of certification, and you need to start your certification with AZ900, which is fundamental. So let's start the session first. So basically our session is covering like what is Azure, what are the Azure resources, what are the Azure region services and providers and all. So basically we are covering the part which is based on AZ900. So like it's for IT background or non-IT background, it's not depending on any kind of condition. You can anyone can do this certification. Okay, so basically our course agenda is like what is the cloud computing type of clouds, cloud services, what are is Azure, Azure region, Azure resources, Azure services, benefits of Azure. And like it's a completely uh, dip- cloud service which is given by the Microsoft. So first of all, what is the cloud computing? So let me tell you, not I'm not telling you first. So first you tell me what is the basically cloud computing. So please tell me, anyone can by tell me like what is the cloud computing or what is the basically cloud. Anyone can tell me, please. I'm waiting for your comment. Anyone? What is cloud computing through internet? Okay. Anyone? Cloud computing means storing and accessing the data and program on remote server. Okay, Arnav. Ayush, no, no. Okay, so okay, availability of computing resources through the cloud. Okay, service available over the internet. Okay, let me ask you a simple question first. So cloud computing means any program that run in a server rather than a local device. Okay, which is also good. So you guys, now my question change, little bit change. Like you are storing your data, like Sakshi, and also saying the same thing. So I am asking one question again. If you have some kind of videos and photos in your Google Drive, you can access these photos and videos in a Google Drive through your mobile, through your laptop, any device of options. So do this Google Drive is a cloud or not? Google Drive is a cloud or not? My question, am I clear? Like you are storing some sort of data like videos, photos and all into the Google Drive, so it's a cloud computing or not? No. Google Drive is not a cloud computing basically. Let me explain you one by one, so that one question also I just want to tell you that online storage and there is a cloud also. Then what is the basic difference between this? You are storing some data. This is also called as hosting or online storage, and there is one more thing which is called as cloud storage. So what is the basic difference between these two? Both are looking like same, but what is the difference? Okay, uh, Google Drive is an infrastructure and which data storage done. Okay, it is not a cloud computing, correct? Type of cloud storage. Okay, so no, basically let me tell you. So it's not a cloud means, please don't think about that like if it is a cloud which means like if there is a rain behind my house or something like that, then your data will be vanished. No, that doesn't means like some of the politicians are saying that if some rain is there, your data like your Aadhaar card and all will be vanished. No, cloud means it's a online storage, but like online storage means if you upload some kind of videos and some kind of photos in your Google Drive and you need access of that one, then you require some sort of software, some sort of tools, some sort of things by which you can access them. Okay, so Google Drive is only for a storage. You just dump your data, but you are not able to access if you don't have software. Like if you are putting some kind of video here, if you don't have some kind of media player or something, then you are not able to play this video. Okay, but instead of cloud, you store some data here, and even media player is also there, and your data and all and everything is also there, which means your service is there, your software is there, your tool is there, your system is there, all and everything is there. Like you don't have even laptop and your file needs some kind of exe file, then exe file is also there, which means all complete solution in is online. Even if you don't have any kind of window, and you required some sort of window to install some kind of software, so your window will be there, your Linux will be there. So all and everything, some kind of software, some kind of storage, all and everything should be online, which is called as cloud. And second one, why it is called as cloud? Because the second one is, if one server fail, like the server is nearby Mumbai and it is failed, then don't worry about it, your data will be saved and it will move to the next server, and your data is already replicated and the data will be there. Which means if one server fail, your data will be moved to the next server, so your data is not vanish at a time, not at all basically. So your data will be there, no issue about this. But in the storage, like you missed some kind of ID, or your data is like your server is some kind of electrical shortage or some kind of disaster is there, and your server got damaged, then your complete data will be vanished. So that is the biggest difference between cloud and online storage. Let me reshare my screen. Oh, sorry, share my screen is already there. Okay, now move to the this one. That what is the cloud computing? Is cloud computing is a delivery of computing services. Remember, not storage. Computing services over the internet, enabling fast innovation, flexibility resources, and economic scale. All kind of services, even any kind of storage, any kind of networking, any kind of computation, in analytics, everything is there. Okay, you just need to go your portal and you can see all the services are there. You just need to go to portal and you can see all the services are there. Okay, now move to the next one. Is we have some kind of storage. First one is public cloud. So public cloud is owned by cloud services or hosting provider, like some sort of GoDaddy. Like GoDaddy is also providing your hosting, and some sort of you can say Microsoft. Microsoft is providing your public services to store your data, to use your their services and all. And the second one is a private cloud. So what does it mean by private cloud? You have some kind of machine in your room and it is continuously consuming your electricity. There is one engineer who is taking care of this, and there is 24 into 7 the what I say, the internet. So means the organization which is handling the server, which is called as private, so it is handled by me and I am taking care of it. The next one is hybrid, which means combination of both, like public and private, both are combining to each other. Like I'm using private cloud, sometime I'm using private and public, so that is called as hybrid cloud. So as per this, cloud benefits are highly available. Like in a private cloud, maybe internet is not working, but in a public cloud, internet is always working, and you can see that highly availability. Highly scalable means if you are not okay with 1 GB of data, you just need to scroll and then you get the 2 GB, 5 GB, 10 GB, or 50 GB of data. Then global reach, which means you don't know about the server, that whether you are established in Mumbai, Delhi, or whatever, but globally you can connect with your server. Disaster recovery, fault tolerance, elasticity, customer capability, and security. So all thing will be there in a cloud benefits. Okay, now move to the comparison of Capex and Opex. Capex means capital expenditure. Opex means operational expenditure. Capital expenditure is nothing like the physical cost which you are paying, like what I say, like electricity bill, no, not electricity bill, like what I say, like the purchasing cost or the hard disk cost or something like that. And operational cost is like electricity bill, like if you are putting some kind of AC, then AC bill, engineer cost and all. But in the public cloud, your cost is very 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 less, because you don't need to pay electricity bill, you don't need to pay any AC bill, you don't need to pay any internet bill. So no need to pay any kind of bill and any kind of extra cost, except the operational cost which you need to pay, like something like which is monthly or hourly basis, or pay as you go services also there. Okay, now we have some kind of shared responsibility model. like on-prem, which is called as private cloud, which you need to take care of data, application, runtime, operation system, virtual machine, compute, networking, and storage. Everything you need to manage. But in Azure side, they provide you three kind of services: infrastructure as service, platform as service, and software as service. So infrastructure as service means the cloud will provide you compute, networking, and storage, and you need to manage only your data, application, runtime, operating system, and virtual machine. Platform as service, you need to manage only your data and application. Software as a service, you need to manage only your data and access. Okay, now move to the next one, which is what is Azure basically. So Azure is nothing, is just like a cloud computing service from the Microsoft. So Azure is offering range of software which is like based on your software as service, platform as a service, or infrastructure as service, and different kind of operating region, operating system, and different kind of service as per your requirement, depending on ML, SQL, and data loading part, ETL tool, and all. Now we have some sort of services and help to build the solution for the Azure. So Azure services are range of multiple web services, hosting, business presence, and all. So it's totally depend on like your trust features. Like if you are uh, you want, yeah, like I want a very secure services, so you can use your private endpoint as well as the private system, and there are lots of things you can manage in the Azure. So we have different region in Azure. As you can see in the map, that Azure offer more than global region than any other cloud provider. Like 60 plus region currently, and in 140 countries. Even in India, you can see there are three, and all of you can see, like here you can see one, two, and three in India, and there are lots of region also there. And if you want to know like other clouds are, like there are lots of clouds like GCP, AWS are also, but their centers are very low as compared to Azure. Now move to the Azure resources. So Azure resources are like storage, which we can say as same as you can say Google Drive. So storage similar to Google Drive, but this storage you can access from anywhere, as well as if the server get damaged or any kind of disaster will be there, then data will be automatically replicated to another one. Then virtual machine, then network is also there, and there are lots of things like app services, SQL server, function, virtual machine, storage, and all. Now you can see there are lots of services. Everyone can see this. There are lots of services. So if first of all, you can see there are lots of services here, like analytics side, stream analytics, machine learning, bot service, data lake, data category. Database side we have Azure DB, SQL, Cosmos DB. Mobile side we have app services, Logic app, media service. Application side we have lots of services we have here. Security side we have. And now move to the benefits. Like first of all, speed of service. Like its speed is much more faster than your laptop, because like we can increase, like if you are not okay with RAM or whatever, you can increase your RAM, and you can just one click you can increase your RAM. You need to just pay the amount for this. Enhanced flexibility, as I say, like you can increase your RAM, you can increase your hard disk, you can increase your memory or consumption or whatever, RAM, ROM, or whatever. Then delivering a pipeline, integrated delivery pipeline, and disaster recovery and security. Disaster recovery is nothing like if there is some kind of, if you are you have some kind of room and you are setting up your server, and there is some kind of what I say disaster, like any kind of earthquake or anything, then your server may be damaged. But here we have disaster recovery, by which you can get your all data without any failure. Now move to the cloud concept. Highly, I already told you, highly available, highly scalable, elastic, agility, fault tolerance, disaster recovery, Capex versus Opex. I already told you everything which is covered in a Microsoft Azure. So first of all, if you have any questions, please ask me. Then I can move to the next one, what I say, like tools of Azure. Like this is the one, this is the one. One by one, we can get in touch with the tools. Not all, mostly the important tools. Like if you have any question, please ask me. Anyone? Any question? Okay, Capex versus Opex again. Okay, okay, okay. Let me go to this slide again and little bit. Yeah. So basically, as you can see, Capex means capital cost, which you are paying in a physical infrastructure. Like you are buying something, you need to pay instantly, which is called as capital cost. Like spending some kind of money in physical infrastructure. It can be hard disk. Like if your disk is 100 GB and you need more, then you need to pay more. Then RAM, then ROM, which is called as capital expenditure. Then operational expenditure is like electricity bill. Like if you are consuming more energy, you need to pay more. Then you can say like the cost of internet. Like there is one lease line and you need three lease line, then you need to pay more. So similarly, which is this is called as capital expenditure and operational expenditure. Okay. Now, one by one, I can tell you the tools which we are using here. So first tool is my favorite, Azure Data Factory or Azure Synapse Pipeline. It is a must and compulsory tool for Azure, and you can say like if you are not aware about it, then you are not being familiar with Azure, as I can say. Because if you want to move your data from anywhere to anywhere, then you need to use this. So first of all, what is Azure Data Factory? So it's code-free ETL service. So what we can do is ingest data, control flow the data, data flow, schedule the data, and monitor the data. Like you can, it's a fully managed service basically. You can move your data from on-prem to the online system or cloud system, or you want to move your data from like your Google Drive to some kind of share storage or Facebook or whatever. Facebook is not a storage. So basically, you want to move your data from, I can say like Google Drive to Dropbox. Dropbox is also a storage, and Google Drive is also a storage. So there are different ways. Like if their data is very small, you can download it and upload it. But here we have a ETL tool which we can use as a directly transferring the data for ELT or ETL depending on the condition. And then there is a hybrid data ingestion at a scale level. You can see the relational, we have data like relational data and non-relational data. The relational data can be systematic way, and non-relational is can be like media or any kind of video, any kind of devices or whatever. So what we are doing is, here you can see relational data and non-relational data is moving into the data processing, and then after we can create some kind of report in BI or some kind of analytics in machine learning or some kind of language we can use to manipulate the data. Like here I have a I have YouTube channel and I want like how many likes, how many subscriber are there, and how do I improve with the machine learning program. So that kind of report we can use, but the main part is we need to load the data into the data processing or some kind of storage or some kind of data like SQL server or anything. So this is a very important part. It is playing very important role to movement of data. Now the data factory is basically a flexible to data ingestion and hybrid, and as well as for the use for the data movement. I can show you one by one, like data driving flow, how do it will work. Like first of all, we have data in a different region. Now we need to ingest the data in a like SQL or whatever, and then prepare for the report, and then transform for analysis, and then publish. Publish means you can use this data, any kind of Power BI report, any kind of tabular report, any kind of system report or anything. Then after, you can see what kind of data ingestion with the Azure data factory and pipeline. So first of all, we need to create link service. So what is the link service? Link service is nothing, is just like you need to access, you need to provide the access of that storage. Like you are using Google storage or Google Drive, then you need to provide your credential like username or password in a link service so that it automatically get connect with your Google Drive. Then you need to create dataset. What do you mean by dataset? Dataset means you need to mention that what kind of data you have, like it's an Excel sheet or CSV sheet or SQL data or binary data or what. And then we need to create activities just like you can say uh, copy activity or whatever. Like you need to create some kind of pipelines to make a bunch of activities, like you are copying your data and with a filter. So with these filter you can transfer your data with the help of link service into your sync we are calling as a target. And here we have trigger option as well. So trigger means you are just clicking run as a activity, so automatically it will pick the data and store into the sync side. The trigger can be automatically or manually. So once trigger will happen, automatically your data will be load from uh, storage to one by one as a form of parameter, as a form of you can say any values or whatever. Okay, so now move to the integration runtime. So integration runtime is nothing like if you want to connect with your local system, then you need some kind of integration runtime, because your local system is not able to access your cloud storage. So what you need to do is, if you want to trigger some kind of pipeline, then you need some kind of integration runtime to be installed in your local PC. It's kind of a software by which you can by the pipeline can access this on-prem server. And then you can create some kind of control flow. I will tell you what is the control flow. So basically control flow is one by one we can move to the next one. Okay, now first of all, again I will tell you the link service is a connection string. It is having some kind of information like username, password, credential or whatever. Okay, now move to the dataset, like how, what kind of file you have, like it's a folder, file, table, document, exe file, CSV file, or what kind of file is this. So which is called the information of that is called as the dataset. Then the pipeline is just a activity, bunch of the activities like copy activity, loop activity. You already know about this, like loop, we have some kind of loop, if condition, when condition, meta condition and all. So these same condition we have, but here we don't require any kind of coding, we just need to drag and drop. Now move to the Azure Data Factory work, how it will work. Like first of all, you need to create the link service with SQL server or whatever. Then you need to create data set. Then automatically the activity will pick the data from the link service and work in the basis of the pipeline. Like you are scheduling the pipeline, monitoring, managing, or creating some kind of copy activity or whatever. So first of all, if you have any question, then please ask me. Then I can show you that how can we do this. Anyone, any question? Okay, now move to the next one is now let me show you how pipeline looks. So first of all, when you log in into your system, then in the ADF side you can see the link service having some kind of list, like what is your storage. Like it can be Cosmos DB, it can be Data Explorer, it can be Lake Storage, it can be Data Lake, it can be database, it can be MySQL, or there are lots of bunch of options. You need to select any one. So currently in this snip you can see that Azure Cosmos DB SQL API. So I'm selecting this option. What you need to do is, first you need to click on link service, second option you need to create new, then you need to select this one. So once you select this one, then it will ask you the name, what name you need to do, you need to put. So you can put any kind of name. Then Azure subscription, like which subscription you have, like free or whatever. Then you need to provide the account name, then database name, and then you need to click on test connection. Once you can see this one, the connection successful, then you can click on this create button. So once this create button you can click, then this is automatically done. Now the second step is data set. What you need to do is you need to click on the same option where is a data set, and then here, depending on the data set, like you already choose the Cosmos option, so the data set should be the Cosmos SQL. So you need to click on this, and then you need to mention the name, then link service name, and then collection of the data, and then you need to do is continue, and then done. Then what kind of pipeline is this? Yeah, see, this is a good example of the data flow. So what you need to do is basically, first of all, once you want to create some kind of pipeline, there is a plus icon, you need to click on it, and then there is a pipeline, you need to click on it. Then you can create some kind of this kind of structure. So inside this structure we have this long activity, which means bunch of activity is called as pipeline. Okay, so as you can see here, we like code free transformation we are doing. Like what we are doing is e-commerce user profile, and then we are getting some user id, then user top product, and then derive some kind of column. Let me tell you some steps here. So first of all, we need to add the source here. So in the source side, you need to define your input data set, and in the data set, you need to define a schema. Then you need to sampling the data or whatever you want. So in this option, like data set, this is a very important factor. You need to select your data set, which you already being created. Then there is option called as schema modifier. You can, if you want to, you can say like modify your schema, then you can click on the schema modifier. Okay, and once you click on a schema modifier, then you can like there is a revenue option, and you want only you want to transform this data like to decimal, replace, concat to string, or whatever you want. You can put this kind of string here, and automatically it will transform or modify your data schema. Like you are using some kind of value here, and you want to transform this into the date format, so you can change it into the date format. Transformation. So format transformation we have like pivot, unpivot, window, rank, flutter. So different kind of transformation we can do. Like here we need to do some kind of mapping, then visitor id, automatically visitor id, top product purchase product id is go to product id. So that kind of mapping or that kind of transformation we can do it very easily. Multiple input and multiple output transformation, like here we have joins. Now you tell me how many joins are there basically. How many joins? Like 3, 4, 5? Anyone please? How many joins are there? Like 1, 2, 3, 4? Anyone? Okay, let me tell you. uh, Now, so input output, now we go to the joins. Now we have different kind of joins. Here we have the joins physical form, like outer join, inner join, left outer join, right outer join, and custom join, which is we called as a cross join. So here we can apply some kind of join by clicking on these buttons. So no need to write any kind of code like select all and apply join, left join, outer join, or whatever. So no need to any kind of code, just click on it, and you need to map the condition on this, like visitor id is equal to user id, then the join will work. So it's a totally GUI based system. Now row modification transform is also there, like you can filter your data based on this. And like if you want to transform your data, like if is null, then this is the value. So this kind of transformation you can easily do it here. Now the last step is sync transformation. You need to load the data into sync, need to allow the schema here, need to select the sync, and you can get load the data directly. Anyone having any question related to ADF? This is called ADF, means Azure Data Factory. Correct? Not three, not a three joins. I already told you. Any questions? No? Okay, one of them is asking is what do you mean by pipeline? Okay. So let me tell you, pipeline is a bunch of activity. Like if you are copying some data, then copy is one activity. Then second one is like you are applying some kind of if condition. Then if is a second activity. Then when we combine both of them, this is called as a pipeline. Bunch of activity is called a pipeline. Okay, now move to the next one, which next tool which we have is Logic App. Okay, so suppose Logic App is basically a automation of tool. So what we can do with the Logic App? I give you a simple example. Okay, like suppose there is a red light and someone is crossing this zebra crossing, and automatically the picture is captured and mail is triggered and sent it to them that you cross your red light and traffic light and you need to pay the fine. So these kind of automation you can easily do with a Logic App. Let me tell you. So basically, Logic App is a design of a flow with a starting with a trigger, and you can trigger with any kind of activity. Here we don't have any kind of schedule trigger or not there. We have like action trigger. Like if someone cross zebra crossing, automatically pipeline will trigger, or someone is stand some kind of bike in a no parking zone, automatically this will trigger. So this kind of activity we can easily do it here. So these are the options which we have. So here you can see a Logic App. So in this Logic App you need to do like every 3-minute interval or whatever, you can define it here easily. Okay, so here once you open this, you can see in the first option after this plus icon there is a Logic App. So once you click on it, and you will get all the options, connectors and all. So here what the system will work like. First of all, there is a trigger when you need to trigger this activity anytime. like uh, like there is a sound is coming, then it will trigger, or any kind of activity, then it will trigger. So anything you can put in the condition like when it will trigger. Then what kind of action you want to know. I want, like if some sound will be there, if I can hear any sound, then it will send a mail or message. So this kind of action you can define it here. Then you need some kind of a connector or enterprise integration as well. So here we have workflow, manage connector, trigger, action, and enterprise integration. Okay, so now here you can see Logic App environments are different, like web based, mobile based, or classical, or whatever. So you can see here there are lots of options by which you can trigger your Logic App, by calendar, by Oracle, or different like Google Drive, HTTP, Logic App, RSS, Salesforce, SQL. There are lots of, even in YouTube. Like if someone like your video, you will get the notification, which is also made by the Logic App. Easily you can create this in a Logic App. So basic scenarios are like performing some kind of workflow, like checking website and listening of the event in a service like a email file or whatever, calling some kind of function, sending a email, performing some kind of search. Like if you want to, like if some activity occur, then you need to search on the Google. That kind of thing you can do easily in this. Advanced scenarios like listening some kind of service or update, listening some kind of file uploaded or not, copy or movement of data from one location to another, pulling some kind of service, automatic updating your status, automatically posting some kind of status. And hybrid scenarios are like supporting connector, connecting notification, starting templates and all. So everything you can do automatically with the Logic App. Some more example you can see here. I already put a screenshot here which is give you the email notification. So once this will trigger, it will shoot a mail and send it to you, and in the mail your mail ID, and you will get the notification that this task is done or not. Then second one is the extraction of the data from the SharePoint. So from the SharePoint, you need to just trigger this automatically. It will get your data and then copy paste into the SharePoint. Then one more is there, Ops Google Sheet. It will count the row of the sheet which you have in a Google Drive and then create one CSV file and then create one file in a blob storage. So this kind of scenario we have in the Logic app. Anyone having any question, please ask me in this one. Does pipeline work on processor level? No. Parallel execution, yes, we can execute in parallel. No question. Okay. Now move to the next one, which is Event Hub. So it's a totally different thing. Like if you have data with terabyte of data and millions of event per second, even a human cannot do this because millions of events per second is occurring during the loading of data. So in the Microsoft will provide you which is called as Azure Event Hub for the big data, or you can say huge amount of data. So scenario for the Event Hub when it is basically for fraud detection, okay, application login, analytic pipelines such as Click, live dashboarding, archiving data, transition processing, user telemetry, device telemetry. Let me explain you a simple way. There is a telemetry in a aeroplane, and with the Event Hub, you can provide a direction to that airline that you need to move little bit 10-degree to the north side, 10-degree to the south side, or whatever. And then second one is like fraud detection. Like if let me give you a simple and best example. Like in your house you have some kind of what I say, like fingerprint sensor or something like that, and in someone putting finger on it, then it will detect that is the correct person or not. So that kind of thing you can put it here. So application login and all. So the basic of the concept is it is sending a event via AMQP, HTTP, and Apache Kafka. So there are some sort of languages, some sort of hard coding, and also there. So partitioning part side, like what we can do is there are different partitions in a single event hub. You can create a different partition based on the events. Like let me tell you, like if a wrong person putting his finger on a fingerprint, then the mail will be triggered to the authority that he is the not right person, do not open the gate. Okay. Second one, if someone tried to uh, put a wrong finger, like if you already registered with a with a forefinger and then you are putting your thumb, then it is just mention you that please put a right finger. That kind of condition you can put it here. So it's like a you can say it's like a ML type or thing. Like it's based on your activity. Like if you do some kind of event, it will give you the result based on this. Okay. So it's based, and even this you can divide your namespace as well. So as per this you can divide your namespace, like this is the event of one, this is the event of two. It is having some kind of unique streaming of data, it is having some kind of scope of the container, a shared folder. So this kind of event you can correlate each other, and then you will trigger that one. So event consumers are basically consumer of group of unique event data. Like you won't there is some kind of consumer who is like pressing thumbs or some kind of activity which is continuously occurring, and you won't like when this event occurred, then this will happen and this message will be sent to them. So that kind of group you can easily define here. And then here we will finish everything. If you have any doubt, any questions, please ask me. Yes, okay. Please ask me the questions. Anyone? Any question?
I guess people are asking about once again about Logic app.
Okay. So let me tell you the first of all, what is the basic difference between Logic App and Event Hub? Event Hub means like if this will occur, this will happen. This will occur, this will happen. This will occur. Like you can put some kind of condition every time. Okay. And in the Logic App, it's a completely different thing. If you want to get some kind of notification, if you want some kind of mail, SMS, or whatever, then you need to just create simple Logic App. It will handle only a simple case, not a critical case. It is for a simple case. Like as you can see, let me show you the simple one. This is the one. Okay. So what it is doing is basically it is just sending a email. So once it will trigger, you can see here when a http request is received, which means if it will trigger, then it will execute some kind of SQL query, and then initialize parameter, set variable, and then send a mail. Which means what it is doing basically, first of all it will trigger, and then whatever mentioned in a SQL query, like you want to trigger a pipeline based on the parameter. So, and the trigger option is also a different, and as well as time is also different. You can create that kind of event as well. So currently, this email activity is what it is doing is basically if you have new file, then it will trigger and it will send you a mail that you got a new file. So this kind of simple thing you can do with a logic app. Anything else? What is telemetry? Telemetry, like if you are flying in a sky and there is a no traffic light, and you cannot ask like if I want to go to Mumbai, and no one will tell you that yeah, please go to the left side, there is a shop, and then you move to the right. There is no such option in the sky. So the best way is telemetry. With the help of telemetry, the person who is in the ground will send a signal that you need to move 10-degree north. So that thing will be happen with the telemetry. So telemetry, it is a device. Okay. And second one, sir, is there any role of instant in Azure Cloud? Yeah, there is different. Can chatbot be a logic app? No, chatbot cannot be, but yeah, Event Hub can be a logic. Event Hub can be a chatbot, but we have a separate tool for chatbot in Azure. So by this, we can easily create some kind of chatbot, and like currently, Azure is launching a new AI in this, by which you can easily create a chatbot, and with this you can publish that one as well. Anything else? Any more questions? Sarthak, you are on mute.
Hello,
Yeah, we can hear
hello,
you.
hello. You can hear me?
Yeah.
Hello. Okay, no problem. I guess all the doubts are clear. Thank you, Saurabh, for coming, having sharing your knowledge. Thank you very much. Next, we have next. I will be there to help you out, guys, on Azure. What is Azure? Also, we'll talk about open source and uh, DevOps. So, Saurabh, thank you very much. Also, if you have any doubt, I guess Saurabh will be there to answer all your doubts over their social. So, Saurabh, if you can share your social link so that people can connect with you, students, and connect with you after the session as well. And guys, you can join our Discord channel. Over that, if you have any other doubt which you want to ask, you can. Okay, that is not for the session. Now we are going to learn about what is open source. Before learning about open source, what is Azure Developer Community and what we are doing in India. Okay, so let me quickly present my screen and show you what we are. Okay, so basically the event which we are hosting today is under the umbrella, under the banner of Azure Developer Community, which is backed by Microsoft. Azure Developer Community is a unique platform, upskilling platform where you can come learn about Azure, learn about new domains like cloud, DevOps, AI/ML, blockchain, and all. So, not only learning, but also we help you to get the certification in the field of Azure and Azure Cloud. Uh, we help students to prepare for the certification exams. We help students to upskill themselves. We help working professionals to get a good networking uh, with other working professionals. So, okay, that is something we do. We are currently a community of 1 lakh plus developers. We are in 120 plus cities. We do lots of offline and online events. If you heard about us, we have 100 plus leads and 100 plus cities where those who are helping young folks like you to do all these things, learning all these things, 50 plus industry expert as a speaker to be there to help you out throughout the year. Okay, so how many of you know about open source? What is open source for you guys? Just a question for you. What is open source? Type in the comments. Would love to hear from you. What is open source? Okay. Am I audible, guys? Guys, I hope I am audible to all of you. If yes, just reply with yes or no. Okay, where we can share our ideas, uh, can be accessed and used without any special permission. Here we can contribute in other projecting boards. Open source is a source code that freely available for possible modification and redistribution. Yeah, I guess all of you are sounds right. So what is open source? Let's talk about open source in a very layman way. Okay, let us imagine you are in a kitchen. Okay, you are in a kitchen. Okay, and in that kitchen you have a chef who prepare the food for you. Okay, so what happened is now that kitchen is an open kitchen. Open kitchen means you can go over there, you can cook your food by yourself. Just you need to take a permission from the head chef that chef, can I prepare this food in this manner? Yes or no? If chef allowed you, then you can cook a food uh, according to your way. Okay, so similarly open source is also doing something like that. Over open source you can see the code base of different organizations like Red Hat, Microsoft. I'll show you some product which you are using day to day life on your daily basis, and these products are open source. When we talk about open source, it means you can see the code, you can go and contribute to their projects, you can also solve the issues, help them to add some new features, also help them to maintain their code in a feasible way. That is something open source is. Okay. I hope everyone is now clear with open source, that this is something open source. Why we used to prefer open source, or why open source? Okay, why students need to learn about open source? Why are working professional need to know more about open source. Why open source is important? First is that the community growth. Open source is something where you will see different project. Over that different project, you will see different communities are working on that project. Like, let's take an example. If we talk about Linux, the Linux is something which is open source. When we talk about Fedora is a Linux. Okay, it's an operating system which is an open source operating system, which is an entity of Red Hat. It's a downstream project. CentOS is an upstream project of Red Hat, again a open source project. What you see over there, you see a community of people. Those are contributing to the Linux. You see, they are the like-minded people who are working together. Okay, also it help you to see the live code, the code base which is from the industry. Okay, it helps you to upskill while working on a real life problem, while working on a real life, real world project. If you are an active contributor, that means you can create a network around the peers. If you are contributing to Microsoft, some of the Microsoft products, Microsoft open source projects, so that means what? You are recognized by the people, those who are the maintainer of that organization, admin of that organization. People can see your contribution through GitHub and all. Okay, everyone, those who are here today want to have some job. Okay, want to do something in life, want to have a good job. Whenever you apply for a job, you need to submit your resume or a CV. Okay, in that CV or resume, you can put your open source contribution, put the link of your open source contribution, what you have done. It means what? It help you to differentiate with other candidate who is applying for the same job. Okay, it helps you to understand the code more thoroughly, because in open source, when you see the code is more efficient, what you code, it's more feasible and viable. Okay, that is something open source will provide you a better understanding of code you will get after you do some work on open source. When you talk about open source, it helps you to learn more about from documentation. Documentation is something which is prepared for an organization. Like, if you talk about Linux, if you talk about Docker, so Docker is having their documentation in which it is written what is Docker, how you can use Docker, what all sort of commands you can use, and what all sort of things you can uh, do while using Docker. That is something a power open source provides you. Okay, then open source projects help you to create the larger impact. When we talk about larger projects, like when we talk about Upright, though it's a very big open source platform which is an alternative of Firebase. Okay, again, when we talk about Visual Studio Code is a project, is a tool which we are using on a day-to-day life. It's an open source project. When we talk about calculator, what we use in our Windows machine, that is an open source project, and more we are going to know more in the upcoming slides. That is something that it's create a bigger impact when we talk about open source. Okay, so why open source is important? These are the following points, basic points, which help you to understand. Yeah, that is why the open source is important. Now, how to start with open source? Anyone in this over this session can help me to understand how to start with the open source contribution, how they can do their first open source contribution. Anyone? Yeah. Yeah, open source is accessible by all. Open source are free, bug free program contributed by software devs. Yeah, yes, all of yours. Right. Set of technology which is developed use industry. Yes. Okay. So how you can start your open source journey? Okay, when we talk about open source journey, how you can start, the first question arises: what to do in open source? So what you can do, you can contribute to their documentation. It means what you can understand their product, what their product is. Suppose their product is a product which can help you to scale the app, like Kubernetes. If the product is Kubernetes, if the product is Visual Studio Code, fine. try to understand the about the product. What is product? If you understand that part, what is the product and how the product is working, that you can contribute to the documentation part. If you're good at coding and the coding which the 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 programming language which they want, like if you talk about Visual Studio Code, it is coded in C sharp and .NET framework. If you're good at .NET framework, then you can go and start your contribution in the decoding part. If you are good at problem solving, what you can do, you can see the issues which are there in the GitHub repository, what all sort of issues they are facing. Go and give them the solution that in this way you can solve this problem. And this is something, a snippet I have written or we have written. Okay, uh, that is something you can start with the open source contribution. Just go explore around your domain, your tech, your programming language, and start your open source. And if you know about C++, go and search up the project which are open source and which are in the C++ language. If you know about DevOps, if you don't know about Docker, go and search the projects which are on Docker. If you know about Jenkins, that is totally up to you. Go search about the tech stack, framework slash programming language which and start contributing to that. That is the first and the foremost step to contributing to the open source. If you want to contribute to any of the Microsoft open source contribution, these are the four best repositories which you can contribute, and most used product which you can features you can see in Microsoft Windows. When we talk about PowerShell, this first icon is of PowerShell. Everyone are the developers over here, I guess, and everyone uses PowerShell someday somehow. Okay, when we talk about Visual Studio Code, everyone are using Visual Studio Code for writing programs, for doing assignments and all. Then first one is for terminal. Sorry, first one is for terminal. Everyone have used terminal. Second is for Visual Studio. Third is PowerShell, and fourth is .NET. .NET is something, a framework which help us to make beautiful apps, web apps. The .NET is also an open source project where you can go and start your open source contribution. That is all. Ramakan said creating a program in GitHub and making it publicly accessible with source code. Yeah, that is something you can make your project an open source project, right? Okay. How many of you think that how big the open source scope is? Do you think that it's a big scope project, or do you think that छोटे से project होते हैं we can only go and commit and try our hands over there? How many of you think that open source is a big place to be in? मतलब open source can be the future. Open source can be a job as well. People who can have a job, or people are doing job in this open source field. How you imagine when you talk about open source? Just say yes or no. It's a big domain, or it's something like कि चलो ठीक है कोई भी चला जाएगा contribute कर देगा. Big domain. If you guys are comfortable in Hindi, then you can relate with this meme. काफी फैला हुआ business है. The projects, when you talk about Microsoft uses Microsoft the project like Visual Studio Code, Terminal, calculator, and all these products are very uh, big products, but also at the same time they are the open source project. That is uh, something, the power of open source we can see in today's world. Okay, uh, okay. Now I would like to help you out to understand more about how you can start your open source journey. Okay, let me present my screen and tell you more about that. Just help me with scope on open source is very big. Yeah, exactly. Chrome tab. I hope you are able to see my screen. Are you able to see my whiteboard? Are you able to see the whiteboard? Yes or no? Are you able to see my screen? Just a second. Okay, I hope my screen is visible for everyone. How many of you know how to start the cloud? How you can start learning cloud, and how you can start, how you can start your cloud journey? How many of you know about that? Just say yes if you know about the how to start with the cloud. Just say no if you want to listen from me how you can start your cloud journey, how you can start and building on cloud. Do you want to listen? Yes, yes or no? Okay, how many of you know about operating system? How many of us have learned about this two basic subjects which we have in our engineering, open networking and operating system? This is OS, operating system. How many of us have learned these two subjects, operating system and OS? How many of us have learned these two subjects, operating system and networking? Yes. Okay. Okay. So when we talk about cloud, the cloud is something where we use where we need to have the basic knowledge of operating system and networking both. When we talk about operating system, to operating system like Linux, operating system like Linux we use in a cloud. When we talk about Linux, so what we all do over the Linux, we can all the work operations which you have to working on cloud. Majorly we work on Linux. When we talk about networking, to let's take a quick example. If you have a system, this is a system, okay, and this is the other system which you are working on. Okay, this is a system A, this is a system B. Okay, over the system, you have built a very beautiful website. Now you want B can see this website, how they can see. Okay, how they can see this website. This is something possible if they have a network connection embedded between them. Okay, so that A can transfer some packets and B can receive that packet, and afterward B can transfer some packets. That is something a basic networking concept is. From one point to another point, you are transferring a packet, exchanging a packet, and you are exchanging information. That is something our networking is. Yeah. Okay. On the top of that, how this network will work? This network will only work if you have any. If you, this is only possible if you have any operating system over the it. If an operating system is working over which the website is hosted, okay, now you are only transferring this website from A part to B part through this network. When we talk about the exchange of the packets, that time we majorly have two concerns how they will be exchanged. Okay, so this is something a combination. This is something can be possible with clouds. Let us suppose if you want to exchange this website with 10,000 people, how you will exchange? This is only possible if you put this website over a place which is accessible by everyone, which is accessible by me, which is accessible by you, which is accessible by your friend. Okay, we need to put a website over there. So that is something we say cloud. A cloud is a place where we put our data, where we put our information, where we put all sort of websites, app, and that app is hosted on a central location, which can be accessible by all the people in the world. Okay, anyone can access through a URL, through a domain, through a you know through a unique IP address. What we say, that is something cloud is, right? Okay, that is something cloud is. So over this, when we talk about cloud, so this is something a basics of cloud. Uh, Hello, I hope I am audible to you all. Sorry, yeah, that is something a basic about cloud. So if you want to see now, if you are aware about, see, in our college, teacher teaches us about open source, about operating system. They teach us about networking and how to start our journey with cloud. Okay, if you know about these two things on a very basic level, then you can start your journey with cloud. What you need to do is, uh, what you can do is you can join our community. Okay, you can join our community. Here's the Discord link. Over this Discord, what we can help you out. We can help you out learning cloud from very basic. From very basic, we can help you to get the Azure certification after learning. Over a over our Discord, you will see so many job slash internship opportunities which you can go and apply. Okay, not only job and internship opportunity, not only you can learn about cloud, not only the basics you will learn, you will also learn some advanced domains like DevOps, like AIML, like a complete cloud from a basic fundamentals to the administrative level cloud that you can learn. So here's a community link. Go and join our community. Also, I'll put the link over the Discord. Yeah, over here in the chat. So here's a link. You can join our Discord channel bit.ly.az.discord. Uh, this link you can follow to join our Discord channel. We have so much of knowledge over the Discord channel. If you guys have any doubt related how we can start our cloud journey, what is open source, or what I have talked till now, you can ask. Otherwise, we are good to go. That is all for this session. We have learned about basics of cloud, how you can start the cloud journey. We have learned about what is open source and how you can go and contribute to open source. There are many open source programs that are running in India nowadays. So you can go and apply for that. For every domain we have, for XR we have, for 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 programming languages, like different programming languages, domain specific programs we have in India. To go and register for yourself and learn about that. Any doubt, guys? If you don't have, then we are good to go. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Okay, just allow me a second. Thank you, everyone. If you have any doubt after the session as well, you can come to me anytime, any day. I have shared my LinkedIn. You can connect me anytime and ask your queries over there. Okay. And sir, how we will getting our certificates? I guess that question will be answered by Lakshat. Okay, you'll get the mail from our team side for the certificate. Certificate is not an issue. Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you for joining us. Bye bye. See ya.